Ben, Lara, we are here in the brand new New York store celebrating 10 years of Varley. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Thank you. What a milestone. Have you had a minute to even stop and take stock?
No, it's been too busy, hasn't it? With getting it ready, trying to organise everything and making sure it's perfect. It's hard to stop and think.
I bet.
Yeah.
Winding it back, because I know people would love to hear a bit about the story. How did you meet? What were you both doing at the time?
I grew up in a very sporty family. My dad was a professional soccer player, and I wanted to be a football agent when I left university.
Quite weirdly, I did like maths and then art and history of art, and when I left school and went to college, I decided to go down the maths route, which in hindsight was a mistake.
I got a job for a talent agency that was based in London, looking after TV presenters. I moved to London and I was quite lonely and I wanted to make friends. So I signed up for the London Marathon, got a place, and then I started training at a running club. And on my second week there, I got introduced to Ben. It was love at first sight for me. And we trained.
Aww.
It was. And we trained for the marathon together, didn't we?
We did. It was the only time I went to the running club.
Yeah, he only came once.
But I've done more marathons though.
He has. Your mum beat you in one and I beat you in the other, so.
I love that. But how did the idea come about? Do you remember? Was there a light bulb moment?
It wasn't about.
There was not one light bulb moment. It was like lots of little conversations and exploring different like avenues, having conversations, and then finally like taking a sort of a leap of faith. And I think, Ben, you always have a really good quote.
I stole it from Mark Twain. It's sort of the secret to getting ahead is to get started. And like for us, it was. I think people start businesses because they see an opportunity or it's out of passion. It started as sort of a merging of passions, some shared, some yours, some mine.
Well, there's an alchemy to you both that I think is really interesting, and that's why I wanted to talk about your backgrounds, because you don't come from the same headspace. And you've talked before about Ben being very data-driven, and you are incredible with what you see, the aesthetic. How do those two visions like collide?
It's funny. So Ben, yeah,
sometimes badly.
Badly, but well, like he is incredible. He's got the biggest brain of anyone I've ever met. How he thinks is like insane. I think you're obviously one of our close friends. You spend enough time with us. I've never met anyone quite like Ben. I think he doesn't always get the credit he deserves. It's not just on the business and finance side. It's across the brand as a whole. Well, how Ben's obsessed with product, I'm obsessed with looks and how clothes look and feel and the overall style and the finished product, I suppose.
Yeah. And Lara, can you talk about Venice Beach and the first campaign?
We very much started a lot more active focus, so it was purely kind of, our first collection was like bras, leggings, workout tops. We went out to LA on holiday. Ben actually took a camera lesson and I was the model. And we shot our first lookbook, didn't we, on Venice Beach. We had like no fear. I think sometimes when you almost get more frightened the more you go into things. I don't know whatever possessed me, but I emailed it out to anybody I thought would be interested in stocking an active range. We sold our first collection, didn't we? And I had my little boy, Wilf, the month that it dropped. And Ben had to ship out all the orders yourself, didn't you, from a big yellow storage unit in London.
With all my boxes, packing, doing all of the invoices on Excel.
So you get Bergdorf, so you get a couple of other key wholesale accounts. Then the brand starts to sell very well in the US and you look to move.
Ben flew ahead to set up the apartment and it was Wilf's first birthday and he was like my first, obviously my first child, my parents' first grandchild, and then we disappeared off to LA and my sister came with me just to help for a few weeks so we could find, we had no friends there, we knew no one. And then I arrived and he'd made our little apartment like so beautiful and ready for Wilf and I to come, and that was the start of our like American journey, wasn't it?
I mean, we're excited about it, but it was also super hard to leave our family behind as well, wasn't it?
Mm.
Oh, guys. I mean, I didn't come here to make you both cry, but it is amazing because sometimes I think people see the outside, right? Super successful, shiny, and they may not realise that how much you sacrificed, how much you could have lost, and also how hard the journey was. So if we talk about how Varley's evolved over the last 10 years, what were some of the like nail biter?
We were too far into it to go backwards because we'd already pumped so much of our own capital into the business.
And not just ours, like we'd had like
help from family as well.
We were super lucky with our family because of everyone, they were the people who were like, whilst everyone else was doubting us, they were the
Ben's
people
dad
that were
particularly,
pushing
when
us
everybody
forward.
else thought we were ridiculous, Ben's dad like believed in us. He thought it was a really good idea for some reason, and he was like, you guys can do this.
Everything had gone into it, and I think, you know, we were so stretched that we decided that that was the time we needed to take investment on.
But we were really lucky with the investors that we found, and actually they've allowed us to have like a long-term vision on the business, haven't they? And
allowed it the space to evolve into what it is today.
When you talk about the brand today, I know there's a phrase, contemporary leisure, that you guys, what does that mean?
I think the misconception about Varley is that, you know, we're not an activewear brand.
Or a yoga brand, as people like to say. You're a yoga brand or an activewear brand, but we're so much more than that.
And that wasn't even something that we came up with. It was two of our wholesale partners, two big department stores in the US, who created that department for Varley to sit in because they didn't know where Varley should sit.
It is interesting because it kind of coincides with an entirely new way of dressing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're great at, is actually showing women ideas for, like, actually you could wear a really interesting earring that is quite formal.
I think everything that we do is kind of relaxed but still elevated and, you know, chic and
it's cool.
Put together. And
you call your stockists partners rather than retailers or wholesalers. Why is that?
Because we wouldn't be here without them.
They took a chance. A lot of them, it's not always just big department stores. A lot of it's, you know, your little boutique at the end of your road, and they took a chance on us. They use their money to invest in our brand and took a chance on us, and we've built the brand together. Like, without them and, you know, their support, we wouldn't be anywhere, would we?
You opened the King's Road in London last year. That was the first store.
Yes.
What was the reaction?
That's probably the only time in the last 10 years where I think we've both stopped and gone, wow.
I think here
like,
as well.
But I think in London, I think because we had the kids there as well and they cut the ribbon, it was an amazing moment.
And we both had a little cry when we went in that store. Yeah. And I was so proud of you for that, and the team as well.
And the team and everyone, and your family came, your mum and dad and brother came, and then also for me to have the kids there, because working and travelling as much as I have over, you know, the last 10 years, there's often long periods of time when I don't see them, or long days, and for them to be there to see what like mummy and daddy do, and for them to understand, and I love how proud of it they are as well. I think that was really special. And
Wilf turned to me on that day and said, "Daddy, are you so proud of me?" And I said, "What for?" He said, "Oh, I cut the ribbon." I was like, "Do you know what? I am very proud of you." But the only problem is now they want to cut the ribbon for every store, don't they?
Lions apparently been telling her teachers this week that we're opening a store in Paris. I was like, okay.
What's the strategy?
I think we will always be an omnichannel brand. It's not a mass rollout of retail stores. It's we want to do retail as best we can, and so there's some more coming in the USA. Can't really talk about.
Lips are sealed. You got any more tequila back there? It is exciting. There's also the attention to detail well, you know how much I love interiors.
We do.
How important was that to you?
You know, in terms of the brand and what the brand is, that was the biggest leap forward we made. We actually worked with a company called Ham Interiors, who are dear friends of ours. There's lots of little elements to the store that,
mean something
to us and mean something to and that represent the story that we've been on, and Ham were able to really conceptualize that and bring it to life. I think for us, I mean, Varley is all about quiet confidence, and that's why there's no images of models anywhere in the store, and it's just artwork by some unbelievably talented female artists. The flowers all the stores are done by Flower Box, which is
Whitney Hawkins.
And
don't
forget the scents, and the most unbelievable candles in all of our stores are by a brand called Charlotte in England, which we absolutely love, founded by do you know Maria? Do you know?
You call Varley an international family-run business. What does that mean to you, to have this huge team now that's just growing but still feels very family?
I think, like, for us it's a responsibility. I think that's what family you know, you've got a responsibility to each other. Very lucky to have such an amazing team now.
Hire people who are better at things than you are. I think we've definitely mastered that one, haven't we?
We've been very lucky.
Congrats on 10 years. That's a wrap.
Thank you
both so much.